Yeah.
So going back to the actual fires, because I'm sure you followed, there were conspiracy theories all over. We covered a lot of them on the show. We had our own. Um, I don't really want to get into that with you, but I do want to say, from what I do remember, when the fires started, there was a water allocation problem that wasn't necessarily just lack of water. There was some brief hold on the water, and it confused us mainlanders. And that's one of the things I want to ask you, since you were here. Me and my mom, we spread stories, and today we're like, let's not put our stuff on it. Let's talk to someone that was actually there. When that happened, when the fires were happening, you said the firemen plugged up their hoses and left. There was something that told them not to bring the water, right? That spurned a bunch of conspiracies. Was that just bad management, or is there something we don't know, or what did you see on the ground?
Like the governor put a hold on it.
That's what it looked like.
I saw no water coming out of the fire hydrants in front of my eyes. That's why the firemen left their hoses and drove off. There was no fire. There was no water to fight the fire. Literally in front of me, it was trickling, spurting out of the fire hydrant. What I was told after, I was like, "What the hell?" And the water, like I said, right up the hill for me is the water treatment plant for Maui County. When our only source for Lahaina is right above me, and it went down. I guess the wind, the electric was shut down, whatever it is. But how is it that our only water source has no redundancy, has no backup generator, has no backup solar? Lahaina's merciless sun. There's a solar farm right next to the freaking building. Like what happened there? And I don't know. But
there were other things too.
There was no water.
Right. And but there was other mishandling. Right?
Well, I mean, no sirens.
Right?
That would have helped if we had sirens. I would have woken up, right? I would have woken up and been.
Yeah, you didn't even know anything was going on.
I didn't know. I kind of heard some muffly, like the police was going by, going, I'm like, what was that? That's why I went outside and then called fire chief to say, what's going on?
So no sirens, no water. Was there anything else you noticed? Again,
I mean,
they weren't helping anybody to evacuate either.
Right. That's what we heard.
And I mean, there was no electric, so there was no internet, there was no TV, there was no nothing. It was a matter of walking outside and looking around and going, what's going on? And I think people who were in the heart of Lahaina, where the old mill camp, we call it, where the Pioneer Mill, the stack is. Back in there, it's the original camps, right, for the mill workers. And the roads are tiny. The houses are back to back on top of each other, and tiny roads. In there was no outlet, and and when one caught, that was it. And I think a lot of people there didn't really understand what was happening. That wind, if it wasn't for the wind, this fire wouldn't have been as bad. I guarantee that. The wind was horrendous. Again, I've been here for 59 years. People who've lived here much longer than myself said they've never seen winds this strong. So how did that happen? And they said it was the tail end of the hurricane, 600 miles away or something it was. I don't. But we have a wind here in Lahaina called Kaua'ula. It's when the wind comes down the valley of Kaua'ula and it's taken out. My church is Waiоla. We just celebrated 200 years. A couple times the wind had come down so strong and blew our church down. So this wind to me felt like that wind. And it was, again, that perfect storm with the wind and the dryness and no water and what have you that just, exacerbated. But the other weird thing, and again, I don't, I'm not conspiracy theorist or anything either.
No, you're just stating facts.
What's odd is, check this out though. I just wanted to share real briefly. I was going back at some of my old emails from my office, and it was about 3 months before this fire occurred. A gentleman sent me an email telling me that he believes they're spraying things in the sky. Right? The color of the sun has changed. The sky color changed. And I kind of noticed that myself, but didn't really think much about it. And so then this is 3 months before the fire comes. So then, right, conspiracy theories were saying there was almost like an accelerant that seemed like it was sprayed across the town, on the buildings, on whatever. So I'm like now thinking back to this guy's email that was 3 months before the fire. And then thinking about the talk the days after the fire, I'm like, well, is there a connection? I don't know. But it's really odd that and I remembered thinking the sunsets look different, the sky color is different, the morning sky, I just thought, well, I don't know, atmosphere changes, I don't know, but who knows, right? But we can't
I don't think we'll
go back
ever
in
know.
time. But
No,
again, I
but
want
you
to
just can
prevent.
say what you see. You just say
Yeah,
what you see. Is that
right.
pretty much? Is this? Are you the only person in your circle that's kind of seeing these things, going, "That's a little strange," or is it when you're talking to people on the ground, do they see it as well?
Those talks have been going on, early on, days,
Okay.
weeks after the fire. I had all sorts of, people's, thoughts of what had occurred. But this one email that I just saw a couple days ago kind of
That's
brought
weird.
back, like, well, wait a
Yeah.
minute now. Maybe there is something to it. I don't know. I'm
I
not
know
sure.
a lot of people from Lahaina are coming over here to Hilo. That's what's happening on the Big Island.
Yeah.
A lot of people are, from Lahaina coming over there to
They're
Hilo.
dispersing all over. I heard about 1,500 people have left Lahaina. You know, I'm going to say this. I have the feeling from day one that things have been, whether it's on purpose or not, I don't know. But the bottom line is people can't wait. It feels like things are moving so slow. Is it on
Yeah, they
purpose?
are.
Isn't it? I don't know. But because of that fact, people can't hold out.
Right.
They people just got back on their feet from COVID. Now
Right.
Yeah,
everything got ripped out from under them again. They just
It's too
don't have
much.
it in them, whether it's financially, just mentally, spiritually, anything left to do it all over again.
Right.
I
And I
know.
don't blame people, but for me, it's like this is what government's supposed to be here for, to help. I mean, bazillion dollars have come into this town. I'm looking around going, well, where the hell is it? And you haven't built
Right.
one home, not one permanent home. Everyone's talking about temporary this, temporary that. I get it. FEMA only funds temporary.